Welcome to Dive Zone, your space to go deeper into English, one episode at a time. If you're enjoying the journey, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a deep dive into language learning.
No one cares. People will forget. They're just curious.
Wow, straight to the point today, huh?
Officially, but please don't forget to subscribe and watch till the end, because we'll talk about English expressions and phrasal verbs, their meaning, and how to use them. That's all coming at the end of the video.
Of course, the end is packed with good stuff. But right now, let's talk about how this simple idea, no one cares, people forget, and they're just curious, can totally change how you think.
I feel like that sentence could actually fix 80% of people's anxiety.
That's not an exaggeration. Think about it. How much time do people waste overthinking something they said or worrying about how they looked?
Too much, like way too much. I used to stay up thinking about stuff I said during the day, something small, like answering a question wrong or waving at someone who didn't see me.
Same. I once said you too when a waiter told me, "Enjoy your meal." I thought about it for a week. A week.
Haha, that's the perfect example. But the thing is, he probably didn't even hear it. Or if he did, he forgot 2 seconds later.
Exactly. That's what we mean by people will forget. They might notice something weird or funny or awkward in the moment, but then they move on.
Because everyone's too busy worrying about their own life, their own awkward moment.
Right. We think there's this big audience watching us all the time, judging us. But most people are just trying to survive their day.
I read somewhere that most people think about themselves 90% of the time. That means we're just background characters in their story.
Which sounds a little sad, but it's actually kind of freeing, don't you think?
Totally. If no one's really paying attention, then I can just be myself. Try things. Mess up.
Exactly. And let's be clear. It's not that people are heartless or that they don't care about others. It's just that their attention is limited. They don't remember the tiny details of what you said or did.
So if I say something dumb in a meeting, people will notice?
Maybe. For a second. But they're not going to go home and think about it.
And definitely not still thinking about it a week later like I would be.
Nope. And even if someone does remember something you said or did, it usually becomes just a random memory, not something they use to judge you forever.
That's such a good reminder. Sometimes I get embarrassed just thinking about things I did years ago. But if I ask the people who were there, they probably don't remember at all.
Or they remember it in a totally different way. Maybe they thought it was funny or brave or just not a big deal.
That's so true. You know, last month I gave a short speech in front of a group, and I stumbled on a word. I felt awful. But afterward, 2 people said it was great. They didn't even mention the stumble.
Because people don't remember the details. We do. We're the ones obsessing, not them.
Okay, so first lesson, no one really cares. Second, even if they do, they forget. What about the third part? They're just curious.
That's one of my favorite parts. Curiosity is harmless. People might notice something unusual, but it doesn't mean they're judging. Sometimes they're just curious.
Like when someone wears bright shoes or dances a little in public.
Or trips on the sidewalk. You look, you notice, maybe even smile. But it doesn't mean you're judging them harshly. It's just human curiosity.
I saw a guy talking to himself on the train the other day. I looked for a second. I was curious, but then I got off and forgot about it.
That's it. People glance. Maybe they talk about it for a minute. But then life goes on. The attention isn't permanent.
So even if I do something embarrassing, the attention is short term.
Very short term. People move on so fast, sometimes even faster than you do.
So basically, the big scary spotlight we imagine, it's not real?
Not even close. Maybe there's a flashlight for a second, but it turns off quickly. Then everyone goes back to worrying about themselves.
I feel like if more people understood this, they'd take more risks, speak more, try more things.
Absolutely. Once you stop fearing judgment, you become more free. You stop playing it safe.
And let's be honest, playing it safe is boring.
It really is. Some of the most fun moments happen when you let go a little.
Okay, but here's a question. What if someone does care? Like, what if someone actually judges you?
That's a good question. And the truth is, it might happen. Some people will judge, but so what?
That's what I'm trying to learn. So what?
Their opinion isn't your responsibility. If someone wants to spend time judging you, that says more about them than about you.
Yeah, it's like you could be the nicest person in the world, and someone will still find a reason to talk behind your back.
Exactly. So why try to be perfect for people who will never be satisfied?
Better to be imperfect and real.
Way better. And besides, the people who matter? They're not judging you for little things. They're cheering you on.
And the rest? They'll forget. Or they're just curious.
You're getting it now.
I feel like this should be taught in school. Imagine being a teenager and learning this mindset early.
It would save years of overthinking and anxiety. But hey, it's never too late.
That's true. And the more I try it, the more I believe it.
That's the secret. Just practice. Let yourself be a little awkward. Say the wrong thing sometimes. Mess up in public. And watch how little it actually matters.
And honestly, sometimes when someone messes up, it makes me like them more. They feel more human.
Definitely. Vulnerability builds connection. Perfection can actually be intimidating.
So if you forget a line, drop your phone, or laugh at the wrong time, own it.
Yep, laugh it off. Move on. And remember, no one cares, people will forget, and they were probably just curious for a second.
I'm going to write that down. Or maybe tattoo it on my forehead.
Ha ha. That might attract some attention, but hey, they don't care.
So, now that we've talked about how little people actually care, I feel like it really shifts something inside.
It does. Once you get it, like really get it, things that used to bother you just don't hit the same anymore.
Right. I start to overthink sometimes, and then I stop myself and think, why? They probably forgot already.
And that's a good habit to build, catching yourself when your brain starts spiraling.
Wait, catching yourself? We say that a lot. That's a good phrasal verb for people learning English, right?
Definitely. To catch yourself means to realize you're doing something, usually a habit, and stop it in the moment. Like when you notice you're being negative or overthinking.
Yeah, like I was about to say sorry for something totally small, and then I caught myself. No need to say sorry all the time.
Exactly. Catching yourself is the first step to changing how you react.
You also mentioned spiraling. That's another interesting one. It's not a phrasal verb, but it's used in a similar way. Like when your thoughts go out of control.
Yeah, like when one small mistake leads to a bunch of negative thoughts, one after the other.
So true. And if you're able to catch yourself while you're spiraling, you win.
That's the trick.
I noticed we said let go a few times too. That one's powerful.
It really is. When you let go of something, it means you stop holding on to it emotionally. You release it, especially things like embarrassment, fear, or guilt.
It's like choosing not to replay the embarrassing video in your head.
Exactly. Letting go is active. It takes work, but it gives you peace.
For me, one of the most important things was learning how to own it.
Oh, yes. When you own it, you accept something fully. No excuses, no hiding. You made a mistake. You own it.
I remember I once dropped my lunch in the school cafeteria. I could have run away, but instead I laughed and just said, well, I did that. Who wants to help me clean it up? People actually laughed with me, not at me.
That's such a good example. When you own something, you take control of the moment. You don't wait for others to judge. It becomes your story.
It's like you break the tension by not pretending it didn't happen.
Exactly. And people respect that. Owning your moments builds confidence.
Another one you said earlier was, move on. I like how simple it sounds, but how big it is emotionally.
Yes. To move on means to stop focusing on something and shift your energy forward. People usually use it after mistakes or bad experiences.
Like, I messed up my pronunciation in class, but instead of thinking about it for a week, I moved on. It's done.
That's the right mindset. You don't ignore what happened. You just don't stay stuck in it.
I guess all of this ties back to mess up. Like, everything begins when you mess up, but then you choose to either overthink or move on.
And mess up is such a helpful phrase to know. It's casual and used all the time. It means to make a mistake.
People are so afraid to mess up, especially when learning English.
But mistakes are how you grow. If you don't mess up, you're probably not challenging yourself.
And when you do mess up, just laugh it off, right?
Yep, that's another expression. Laugh it off means to respond to something embarrassing with humor instead of shame.
Like when I said the wrong word in front of everyone and just said, "Oops, guess I invented a new English word." Everyone laughed and forgot it.
That's the best way to handle it. Don't take yourself too seriously.
It's funny how all these phrases connect. Mess up, own it, laugh it off, move on.
It's like a recovery path. You mess up, own it, laugh it off, and move on.
That's actually brilliant. We should write that down as a step-by-step guide.
I think we just did.
Okay, so now let's make sure we highlight these expressions and phrasal verbs for our listeners, especially for English learners.
Let's do it the way we just talked, like a conversation review.
First up, catch yourself. Like we said, that means noticing your own habit while you're doing it and stopping it.
Yes, it's self-awareness. Like, I caught myself comparing myself to someone online, and I stopped.
Super useful in daily life. Next, let go. It means stop holding on emotionally.
I had to let go of what someone said about my accent. It wasn't helping me grow.
I've had to let go of a lot of old memories that made me feel small.
That's personal growth. Then we had own it.
Still one of my favorites. It's when you accept something fully. No pretending, no hiding. Right. Like, I forgot someone's name, and I just said, "I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names." I owned it. People appreciate honesty more than fake confidence.
Absolutely. Then we talked about move on.
Super important. When you make a mistake, don't replay it forever. Move on.
I mispronounced a word in front of my students. I corrected it, smiled, and moved on. No big deal.
And, of course, mess up to make a mistake.
We all mess up. It's how we learn.
Especially in language. If you don't mess up, you're not practicing enough.
Then there's laugh it off. That one's a life skill.
It really is. Someone laughed at my pronunciation once, and I just laughed too. That moment didn't hurt. It connected us.
It disarms judgment. Humor is a powerful tool.
Do you remember we also said play it safe?
Oh, yes. That's when you avoid risk to avoid failure.
Like not speaking in class because you're scared to mess up.
But growth doesn't happen when you play it safe. You have to take little risks to learn.
And we said, show up as you are.
Yes, that's about being yourself. Not filtered, not perfect.
I feel like when I show up as I am, I attract the right people.
Me too. Pretending is exhausting.
What about cheer someone on?
Oh, great one. To cheer someone on means to encourage and support them.
I love friends who cheer me on instead of judge me.
Same. And we should be those people too, for others learning English.
Definitely. Let's be the kind of people who celebrate mistakes because they mean someone's trying.
So, to wrap up, here's what we want you to remember.
People don't care as much as you think.
Even if they do notice something, they'll forget it quickly.
And often, they're not judging. They're just curious.
So speak up, try new words, mess up, laugh it off, move on.
You'll improve faster when you stop waiting to be perfect.
And remember, we've made a free PDF with all these expressions, phrasal verbs, and example sentences so you can review them easily.
The link is just below this video. Download it, review it, and practice a few expressions every day.
Language is about connection, not perfection.
Thanks for listening to Dive English Zone. We'll see you.
Thanks for watching Dive English Zone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, drop a comment below, and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of our upcoming lessons. See you in the next one.